I used to only buy designer bags from the top range luxury brands such as Hermes, Louis Vuitton and Chanel. In the last 2 years, however, I've come to really enjoy certain mid-range luxury bags. Typically, these bags have a lower price range, but I must say I have been really impressed with some of them. Today, I'll be doing a very transparent review about 6 affordable luxury bags. I'm going to start with the bag with the lowest price point first. So this is the Songmont mini song bag and it costs about $240 US. I first came across this brand on the lovely Audrey Coy's channel. She featured a song bag, I believe, and I was really intrigued because it reminded me a bit of the Hermes Picatinny bag. So I got in touch with Songmont to see if they would like to send me a bag. Now this is not a sponsored video and I'm not getting any commission for this. They also didn't ask for a review video. In fact, I've had this bag for several months. I didn't want to rush to do a review video because I wanted to put it to use first and see how I liked it. Also, as we speak, there are not a lot of review videos on YouTube about this bag, so I just thought this might be helpful information. Anyway, this is a cute little tote bag with top handles and a shoulder strap, and it's in this beautiful taupe color. The design looks lovely in my opinion. It has a very cute silhouette, and I love that it's tiny but also very practical because it can fit all my essentials. So in here, I have my sunglasses, my phone, which is an iPhone Max Pro, my Mulberry card holder, my Kindle e-reader, AirPods, Louis Vuitton mini pochette, and a reusable shopping bag. This bag has a magnetic closure and it's really easy to open and close. You can see the bag is not fully covered when it's closed because there's some open space on the sides, but I still think the closure is very helpful and I personally like the sense of security. This bag is made of leather inside out, which I was quite surprised, especially considering the price point. The inside leather is suede leather, but the rest of the bag is made with pebble leather. This leather reminds me a bit of the Hermes Clermont leather. I used to have an Hermes Lindy 26 in Clermont, and I would say this leather is quite similar in a way because the grains are also slightly bigger. Additionally, like the Clermonts, this leather also has a soft and slouchy look. However, this leather doesn't feel as smooth and it almost feels a little dry to the touch. Now, I am fully aware that this is not a fair comparison because Hermes handbags are at least 20 times more expensive. But I hope that gives you a bit of an idea about the texture of this leather. To be honest, I quite like the fact that you don't have to be super careful with this bag because the leather feels quite sturdy and scratch resistant. This bag has 4 feet on the bottom. By the way, when the bag arrived, these feet were covered with these little caps to keep them protected, which is a very thoughtful gesture. I personally love carrying this bag using the top handles because I think it looks really cute that way. The top handles are quite generous, so they do fit very comfortably on the crook of my arm. But if you need to be hands-free, there's a shoulder strap, which is both detachable and adjustable. There are several settings on the strap, and I really like that the bag sits a little higher around my hip area because that is my favorite position when I carry a shoulder bag. So now comes the important question. Is this bag worth $240 US? I think it is because this is a very practical bag and it has all the features I look for in a small tote bag. I can see this being a very good option as an everyday bag because you really don't have to baby it. I know I was a bit harsh about the leather, but all in all, this is such a good bargain. In fact, the more I use it, the more I enjoy it. Next, let's move on to DeMellier London, which has a slightly higher price range. Again, not a sponsored video, but they kindly sent me 2 bags and I'm a little disappointed with them. But don't worry, I'll go into detail about everything. So the first bag is this DeMellier London Mini Montreal, which costs about $440. Now, practicality aside, I really like the looks of this bag. I think it looks really adorable and the hardware is such a statement element. However, this doesn't fit much. So in here, I have my sunglasses, Mulberry card holder, AirPods, tissues, and some essential products in a pouch, and that's about everything I can fit in this bag. My biggest issue is that my phone doesn't fit in the bag. Again, I'm using the iPhone Max Pro. My husband used to use the iPhone 8, which is a small-ish phone, but even that one doesn't fit in this bag. As much as I love nice bags, I'm also a very practical person. Besides, I bring my phone almost everywhere with me, so truthfully, I cannot see myself using this bag that much for that reason. Something else I'm not very sure about this bag is the fact that it doesn't have feet. Now, not all my handbags have feet, but for this particular bag, it is quite concerning not having the feet because of the design. Let me show you. So basically, because of the substantial hardware, the bag tends to lean forward. And when the bag is empty, you can see it doesn't rest evenly on the bottom surface. In fact, a lot of the weight goes to the front edge. And sometimes when I'm in a rush, the bag can topple over because of that. So what can you do? I recommend filling the bag with either a tiny pillow or some unused clothes because that will help to even out the weight. But even then, you can see the bag is still leaning forward slightly. I also want to talk about the shoulder strap. It is both adjustable and detachable, and I'm happy with the way the bag looks on me as a shoulder bag and a crossbody bag. However, there is this leather fold which is quite bulky and prominent, and because it sits on the inside of the strap, it does dig into my skin when I carry the bag using the strap. Whereas with the Songmont, the fold is much thinner, plus it sits lower, so it doesn't bother me at all. Again, visually, this looks so lovely and adorable, but this is not the most practical or usable bag. So then they sent me a midi Montreal, which is the next size up. This is also the medium size because they have another size even bigger. Anyway, this costs about $550 and this color is called Deep Toffee. I feel like I'm being really fussy here, but this bag is now too big for me. You see, because of the boxy silhouette, this size just looks really bulky. You can see the side profile is quite thick and I think the bag is too long this way. I don't know if you feel the same, but I kind of wish they had a size in between these two. Anyway, let's talk about the top handle. For me, this top handle is too small for the size of this bag. In fact, this is the same size like the top handle on the much smaller mini Montreal. Personally, I think if the top handle was a bit bigger, the proportion might make a bit more sense. Same as the Hermes Kelly 25, the midi Montreal also has a width of 25 centimeters. However, you can see the top handle on the Hermes Kelly 25 is much bigger, and for me, it complements the bag so much better. Anyway, the top handle fits nicely around my waist, but it doesn't go all the way to the crook of my arm. Now let's see what we can fit in this midi Montreal. Here I have all my essentials, and I've also put in a small notebook, and there is still quite a bit of space left. Unlike the mini Montreal, this bag comes with 4 feet on the bottom. On a flat surface, the bag still leans forward slightly when it's empty, but not to the same extent, seeing the hardware makes up a much smaller proportion of this bag. The shoulder strap is a lot more comfortable on this bag. It doesn't have the same leather fold like the mini Montreal, but it is a bit too long for my body frame. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how to style this bag because it looks quite formal and serious, and for me, there's quite limited versatility in terms of how and when I can wear this bag. Next, let's talk about the craftsmanship. First of all, this bag is very easy to open and close. There's a button on the bottom here, and when you press it, the bag will pop open. The leather feels nice and smooth, and the stitching looks tidy. However, on my midi Montreal, I can see a bit of glue residue around the bottom part of the top handle. So overall, I feel a little underwhelmed with these pieces. I hope I'm not being too harsh because these are gifted, but I just want to be very transparent with my thoughts. Next, I want to talk about this belt bag, which is from Ateliers Auguste. And Ateliers Auguste is a French brand. This bag is about $390 and I've been enjoying it quite a lot. This is a mini bag, so it doesn't fit a ton, but I can carry a lot of my essentials, such as my phone, my Kindle, hand cream, sunscreen, and lip balm. And if I'm not carrying my Kindle e-reader, I can also fit my sunglasses in there. Typically, I do minimize when I wear this bag, so I also don't carry a separate card holder. To be honest, I've been loving this bag way more than I thought I would. This is just such a cute little bag, and every corner of it is so incredibly well made. I only have good things to say, whether if it's the leather, hardware, stitching, or the design. I've spoken about this before, but what I love about this brand is how they pay attention to even the smallest details. For example, I love the buckle of this bag. It looks and feels substantial, and you can just tell this has been designed to complement the bag. I went for this combination because I knew I wanted something very casual, seeing this is a belt bag after all. So as much as I enjoy gold hardware, I went for this brushed silver hardware, and I think the grey color leather goes perfectly well with it. Because this bag looks so playful and casual, I especially love wearing it with dresses just for a bit of contrast, but it goes well with so many outfits as long as they are not too dressy or formal. The shoulder strap is adjustable, and on the longest setting, I'm able to carry the bag as a shoulder bag and also a simple crossbody bag. So it's actually really versatile. I actually really enjoy carrying the bag as a shoulder bag as well because it looks like a very unique mini bag. For me, this bag is so lovely to wear on days when I don't have to carry a lot. For example, if I'm running a quick errand, or if I have my hair appointment, or if I'm going out for a quick meal. I think for this price point, this bag is absolutely worth it, especially if you're looking for a very minimal belt bag. I feel like a belt bag is not something many of us will buy as our first bag because it's not something we tend to use every day, and because of that, you might not want to spend thousands of dollars on this category. So I think this one is a really good option. Again, this is not a sponsored video, but the brand has very generously offered my audience a discount code for 10% off if any of you are interested. Next, let's talk about this beautiful shoulder bag from Ateliers Auguste. This is made of this stunning smooth leather, and the hardware is gold plated. This bag is about $500. I've done a review video about this bag, and I'll leave the link up here. Some of you probably already know how much I love this bag. I just love how clean and minimalistic the design is and how wearable this bag is. This is the kind of bag that will look great with any outfits. In person, you can just tell this bag has been so beautifully crafted with quality materials. I especially love how responsive the magnetic closure is and how easy it is to open and close the bag. In terms of the size, I think this size is perfect as a shoulder bag. I didn't want to go for the bigger option because I didn't want the bag to start feeling boxy, but this one is just lovely. I can very comfortably fit all my essentials in here without any problems. One of the most common questions I get about this bag is, how has the smooth leather held up? Well, I've been using this bag quite a bit in the last 12 months, and so far I can only see a bit of scuffing on the bottom, but other than that, I cannot see any major scratches. That said, I tend to be more careful when I carry a bag with smooth leather. Now, if you have the same worry, I have good news for you because they finally have this bag in pebble leather. This one is called Cappuccino, which is a lovely light brown color with a beige undertone, and it goes so beautifully with the gold-plated hardware. If you love neutral colors but you're a bit tired of black handbags, I think you will love this neutral color because it really does go so well with everything so effortlessly. I'm actually thinking to bring this bag with me when I go away in the summer. Anyway, even though the smooth leather looks so luxurious, I personally prefer this pebble leather because it feels very substantial, so I feel like it will help to keep the shape of the bag for a very long time. Besides, the leather just feels so sturdy and hard wearing, so even if you use the bag every day, the wear and tear should be minimal. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very excited about this bag because it is now amazing in every way. Next one is the mini Mali, which is also from Ateliers Auguste. This one costs about $600, making it the most expensive piece in this collection. But this is not my favorite bag. I've done a review about this bag before and I'll leave a link up here. Now visually, I love the way this bag looks, especially when I wear it as a top handle bag. They are also 4 feet on the bottom, which I really appreciate as well. Just for clarification, I have no issues regarding the overall craftsmanship of this bag. In fact, Ateliers Auguste pieces are handmade by very highly trained Italian artisans using only premium quality leather. So all their pieces are very well made. However, I'm not very keen about certain aspects of the design for this bag. My first issue is the shoulder strap. Even on the shortest setting, the bag sits a little too low as a shoulder bag for my liking. Also, on the shortest setting, there's a bit of overhang of the leather, so the strap kind of sticks out across the buckle. To me, it just doesn't look very tidy. I also wish they made the top handle with a stiffer or more substantial material because I think the bag would look even more sophisticated if the top handle was more structured. Something else I'm not too crazy about this bag is the zipper because it really isn't the easiest to maneuver, especially when you carry this bag as a top handle bag. Personally, I find it really tricky to zip the bag, so I now don't use the zipper at all when I wear this mini Mali. That said, several people have told me that they really enjoy having a zipper for this bag for the reason of security. So I guess this is a very personal choice. The zipper can either be a pro or a con depending on who you are and what you look for in a bag. In terms of how much it can fit, this mini Mali can fit very similar amount like the midi Montreal. Between the two top handle bags, I'll definitely go for the mini Mali because like I said before, I adore the looks of this bag. I think this is very classy and lovely, whereas the midi Montreal looks a little bulky. My personal favorite pieces from this collection are the belt bag and the shoulder bag from Ateliers Auguste. But if I have to choose one bag with the best value for money, it has to be the shoulder bag with the pebble leather. First of all, the craftsmanship is amazing. The bag is versatile and so easy to style. Plus, you don't have to worry about scratches. So at about $500, this bag is certainly worth looking into. I hope this has been helpful. I really wanted to do a transparent and honest review about each bag, so I made the effort to reach out to these brands to get these pieces in. Thank you so much for being here. Take care and I will see you soon.